I'm going to be honest, I got pretty nervous that we weren't even going to be able to shoot that day. Hi, Benjamin. Here today I'm going to be talking about some of the issues we ran into on the set of Rosetta Stones. Every film set has issues, and we were fortunate not to actually have too many issues. A lot of that was due in part both to luck and prior preparation, but there were some things that were just out of our control. So we had some very minor issues that aren't worth the whole story, such as my sound person accidentally leaving his phone on one of the sets that we no longer had access to by the time he realized he lost it, and one of the actors accidentally locking their phone in a locker that we did not have the combination to, but thankfully those were all pretty easily resolved. There were two major issues that came up on set, both out of our control. Number one was we ran into some weather issues. There's a scene pretty early on in the film when Ryan and Edward hang out for the first time, and they have a standoff in the car.
Hey, here you go.
Hey, you brought it into my car. It's gonna...
Huh? What?
I feel like it smells...
What?
We can't smoke this in my car.
This scene was actually supposed to be a standoff in Ryan's driveway with the two of them standing outside. But unfortunately, we got a ton of rain that day, and we shot from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and the rain started at about 12:30 and just didn't stop. So we actually had to move this scene inside of the car, and the actors had to improv a bit because the scene was written that they were standing outside, and so some of the dialogue didn't work anymore. Thankfully, I think the scene actually ended up quite well. I'm really happy with the final result, and honestly, I think it might have ended up better than how it was initially written. But another problem with the rain is that we were also supposed to shoot most of the scenes that happened outside in the film that day, and we were actually able to film the majority of the scenes that happened inside Ryan's house were not supposed to be filmed for an entire week. But we got those all done the day that they weren't even supposed to be filmed. And I'm really happy with how it all turned out. Second biggest issue we ran into, again, completely out of our control, was filming at the school. So we had the school from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 4 days. And the first day that we were supposed to film at the school, we were just completely locked out. Couldn't get into the school anywhere. And it's just particularly frustrating because I had the school booked for upwards of 4 months prior to the shoot. And when the time came around, even though it was assured that it would be open for us and we would be let in by a custodian, there was no one there. I'm going to be honest, I got pretty nervous that we weren't even going to be able to shoot that day. I called every phone number I had and everything went to voicemail, and I sent an email to everyone. So we did get in 2 hours later, but we were already shooting about 14 pages a day and had a location for a total of 40 hours. And keeping in mind that 2 hours each day were reserved for meal breaks, that's a lot of time to miss out on. And another issue, once we got into the school, even though it was assured that the air conditioning unit would be turned off for purposes of getting clean audio recorded, the air conditioner was on. And it definitely provided a headache for my audio post-production guy. But I'm very happy with the job he did. You really can't tell that there was any AC by the time he was done working with the files. Thankfully, the following morning, I did talk to several people who helped manage the building, and they assured that there would be a custodian to let us in the next day, which there was. They said there was nothing they could do about the AC until the next weekend, but they assured me that the AC would be off the following weekend. And of course, the following week we showed up and the AC was still on, which, yeah, not great stuff. But huge shout out to Jacob for cleaning up the audio. He really worked some magic with the audio in this film. But yeah, those are really the two biggest issues we ran into on the set of Rosetta Stone, and could have been a lot worse. So I'm pretty thankful that that was all we ran into and that we were able to come up with solutions to the problems. Curious about any issues you've run into on productions you've run? Comment down below.